16. I'm going to regurgitate back the events that happened on Saturday's game. It went bad. Since no one's at the table to go through and discuss or describe it, or even talk to you about it, it looks like it's up to me. First off, we all organized, we all met, and we were surprised Brandon showed up Saturday. Because it was just going to be me and Robbie that played. And Brandon created a new character, a red hedgehog, dressed in a striped shirt and jeans. His name was Robbie the Hedgehog. Named after somebody in our party. Named Robbie. And his goal was to have Robbie be Robbie. But first we had to find him. So, Zach was going about cleaning the library, honoring his debt to Tails with a Z. But Tails with a Z was busy playing with his chair, because he's so awesome that way. Not realizing that Zach had found a hidden book with a string in it. And like all good traps, Zach pulled it. And boom, the wall opened. Sure enough, there was a body in it. A body buried in the wall of the library. Surprise, surprise. Who would have expected a body in the wall at the library? Not me. Definitely not them. So then Zach pulled the string back and closed the door. Tails went, opened the door, and the guy fell out. But before that, string broke, so he had to jimmy the string to work. So, Tails walked out and took Robbie with him, left Robbie the Hedgehog there, walked out of the library, and started the front on fire. Because it was the safest thing to do. But he forgot Zach and Robbie were still in the building. So Robbie found Zach. Zach found Robbie, or either or, it doesn't matter. They're both dumb characters. They don't exist. One's a fat echidna, and the other one was a red hedgehog. It don't matter. It was Brandon and Robbie. We could call them Brandon and Robbie, and we would still, the mistakes they made are Brandon and Robbie mistakes, and they're classic Brandon and Robbie mistakes, which is even sadder. So Robbie, being ha-ha funny, coming up after 2 sessions with a tagline of, "Oh, I'm too fat for this shit. Oh, I'm too fat." After 2 sessions, his fat hedgehog should have been doing that since day 1. But Robbie wanted to be the center of attention because Brandon was trying to be funny with Robbie. So they were stuck in the fire, and the fire was 6 feet across. The front of the library, from the front door. Robbie had this grand idea, throw Robbie over. So he made Zach throw Robbie over. Sure enough, he rolled so badly, he threw Brandon through the flames. So Brandon's character, Robbie the Hedgehog, caught on fire. Luckily, Tails was there to put him out. But he was at 5 rings left. And Zach was still in the building. So then Zach decided to run to the top of the building, to the front of the library, to the front window, and try to get out that way. By then, Tails had dragged Robbie out to the hospital and fed him random medicine that was on the ground. He didn't know. He didn't care. It was a Brandon character. He just didn't care. It was destined to die. It's Brandon. If it was by my hand, it would have been by somebody else's hand. But not Robbie's, which is surprising. Because Robbie got him last week in the roboticizer. But as we go on, Robbie broke the window at the front of the library after so many tries. Or did Pixels get him? I don't remember. It's kind of vague, because I didn't care at that point. But Robbie finally got out. When he could have just went to the back of the building, climbed on the roof, jumped to the closest building next to it, or climbed down. Because in session 2, he used his nice echidna claws to climb up a building. But wouldn't it be logical for him to climb down the side of the library from the backside as the fire gradually moves back into the building or through the building? Because he moves faster than the fire, technically. No, but Robbie didn't see that. But then, too, that's a classic Robbie mistake. Okay. So, Brandon is blind, incapacitated, and delirious from all the medicines he took. And he took a lot of them. So the only thing Tails could do is tie him to the bottom of his hover chair. Why? Because that was the only space that was big enough to carry him. So, Tails flew up and was looking around. Robbie, during this time, decided to join forces with Pixels because Pixels says, hey, I know where the princess is. Never stopping to think that, last week this bitch tried to kill me. So he went with her. Never thinking, that bitch tried to kill me. And she killed Dash. But that didn't cross his mind. No. That's the least of his worries. While I'm above trying to find my thing, that's when I find out the radios are actually how they were making all the wild noises. Why? Because both Brandon and Robbie, common mistake, don't pay attention to details and environment. Yeah, the dead silence tells you everything. Okay. So Robbie goes, and Pixels takes him to a room, and then puts him in a room, and then goes, whoa! No, not really, because Katie doesn't have it in her to do something that evil. But she did put him in a roboticizer, too. And we had so much time. Tails with a Z, and the remnants of Robbie, or the remains of Robbie, tied to the bottom of my chair to go rescue Robbie. While Robbie was in a roboticizer. He's kind of like at the basting of when you're basting a turkey in a microwave. He was sitting there kind of going through the initial stages of basting and baking. And then when that time goes up, he will then be roboticized. So, Robbie is out of the game now at this point because he's captured. Not because of me, not because of Brandon, but because he's stupid. Okay, so then Tails gets attacked by Pixels. But due to the weight of Pixels being a robot, which Brandon and Robbie discovered last week and I know out of game, the weight of my hover chair went down and crushed Brandon to death. Technically, that could be my fault because I had him in a bad location, but it's the only place I could carry someone that big. But it's Katie's fault there. That is Katie's kill, because she's the one who said the chair comes down with the weight of Pixels. I tried to put his last ring back in, but she said he exploded on impact. So all I had left of him was a foot. Just a foot. Robbie was just a foot at this point. He's gone. He's dead. Another Robbie with a Zack is in the roboticizer. Getting roboticized, yes. So, as the game progressed, Tails and Pixels had it out for a while, and then during this entire time, Pixels discovers that there is a whole room of random fembots. They're not normal roboticized things, they're fembots. And sure enough, Katie's Easter egg is she put Red Lily in there, which is uncool. She's been torturing my character I created in a model thing a lot. Let's just leave it at that. She's been torturing it a lot. And it's not right. You, the viewers, will agree with me. It's not right. But Tails with a Z could get past the things. He tried to get Pixels to trick her into thinking he was Eggman so he could open her up and reprogram her, but I failed that role. Fate. Fate hates Robbie and Brandon, I guess. So then I go, fuck it, I'm leaving, I'm going to get the real heroes. And that's when I left. Then that's when she says, oh, Robbie, you're done baking. You're now a she-male fembot. And Robbie goes, what? Yes, you're a fat she-male fembot. Oh, yeah, we also there was an evil Dark Lord who looks like Josh. Yes, he looks like the Josh we know, who plays Magic with us. Oh, with them, I just help Robbie to play cards against him. But yeah, evil Josh is in charge of the evil fembots. So now, Tails with a Z, with his fucked up little air car, now has, which is funny now, he can fly. He couldn't fly when the game started. But he doesn't have two tails neither, unlike the other tail. So now he has a hover car, which now he's going to soup up between games, make it awesome, put flames on it, make it Optimus Prime blue. Yes, that'd be pretty awesome. And Tails' entire goal is he wants a roboticizer now for his evil plan to take over the world. After all, he's only 12 years old. What else does he have to do? So, now, you got Fembot Robbie. Oh yeah, one more thing. Dash's robot is still alive. And Tails with Z wants his Dashbot back. It's fucked up, but he wants it back. And it's with Josh. Because Josh stole Tails with a Z's robot Dashbot. And that's uncool. And that's still a male. Zach, on the other hand, is a she-male. A fat, purple she-male echidna. Kind of reminds you of Rosie O'Donnell when you think about it. But that's beside the point. Okay. So, we then talked about it a little bit. And they all agree it was a really, really bad session. Except for Brandon. We didn't talk to him. He was at work. Robbie said it was a bad session. Katie said it was a bad session. I knew it was a bad session when the Game Master is killing the characters. The players didn't care because none of them want to take the helm of leadership. I don't want to take the helm of leadership because every time I do all the work. That's why I play the antagonist now. Those two, on the other hand, were supposed to get through the game. So now we don't know if we're going to play Sonic next week because Brandon can't make it, or start a new game. So we'll let you know next week on At the Table. Because after all, Robbie has always wanted to be a she-male fembot. I would say the same for Brandon, but at least Brandon's robot Dash is still a dude. Kind of funny when you think about it. Robbie's lifelong ambition is always to be a female. He's halfway there now with his Zach. I don't think he's ever been a she-male. But until next time, I'm signing off.